Today, we're going to be talking about Decepticonism. What is Decepticonism? Well, to answer that, we first need to establish what a Decepticon is. The Decepticons are the main antagonists of the Transformers franchise. There are several Transformers continuities, so I've tried to focus on what is most common amongst them. But be aware that there are some generalizations, and when given conflicting information, I had to just pick whatever suited my purposes best. The Decepticons, just like the quote-unquote good guys of Transformers, the Autobots, are a part of the alien Cybertronian race. They originally hailed, as the name suggests, from the planet Cybertron, but they did colonize other planets as well. The Decepticons were founded by Megatron. He was once an ordinary Cybertronian worker, but due to his place of work being shut down, was involved in a protest leading to a scuffle in which Megatron committed his first murder. Because of these circumstances, he soon found himself forced into a life of gladiatorial combat, which was very illegal and very popular on Cybertron. During this time, he began to grow ever more resentful of the ruling class, and discovered that the games were a conspiracy on the part of the ruling classes to control the population, so they would not discover the more dangerous aspects of Cybertron's history. When they became aware that Megatron knew of this, the Council of Ancients attempted to assassinate him, but failed. This fueled the growing discontent among the masses until it reached a boiling point. Alongside a few of his fellow gladiators, Megatron thus began a rebellion that would become the Cybertronian Civil War. With the background out of the way, we need to answer one important question. What do Megatron and his followers believe? Well, even with such a basic overview, we can say right off the bat that it is an insurrectionary ideology. Going further, Megatron does not seem to distinguish between political factions or personal beliefs of the senators and other elites. We can thus safely put him down as anti-establishment. But I would take that a bit further. It seems he's at least fairly open to any who challenge the status quo. Sound familiar? If you watch J-Reg Gaming like I do, it should. It is essentially a form of anti-centrism. Now that I think about it, anti-centrism did mention that Greg wasn't his first choice to possess. Could that first choice have been Megatron? Back to the ideology, there also seems to be an emphasis on egalitarianism. But the Decepticons are still ruled exclusively by Megatron, meaning they are an authoritarian movement. This puts them firmly off the left. In some continuities, Megatron seems to wish to place all other lesser races under the rule of Cybertronian. This might imply that Decepticons, at least in some iterations, may be more akin to Nazguls than communists. However, the Decepticons can't exactly be called racist since they only discriminate against members of different species, and are, in fact, in favor of equality between all members of their species, so they would be more speciesist than racist. And it's also worth pointing out that there are parallels between Megatron and Spartacus. Both live in societies that are expansive empires. With a republican government, both are gladiators, and both start large-scale uprisings. Another person worth comparing Megatron to is Karl Marx, or really any leftist Victorian political theorist, since they saw the ills of their society and wrote about establishing a better one. It's not a perfect parallel, but it's worth mentioning. We can thus conclude with the assertion that the Decepticons are an insurrectionary, anti-centrist, authoritarian leftist organization. That's about it. There's not much more to say. Goodbye now.
Show me how them titties fart.